It's March 15th, the Ides of March. We're halfway through the month, and so I thought I would come on here and give everybody a live update as to what's happening in the market right now. I'm going to try this live right now to give you the stats and give you a market update, and maybe do it on a weekly basis. That way you're more up to date. Plus, going live also gives you an opportunity to ask questions. If you do have any questions, and I've been getting a lot of questions from clients and DMs and things. So I thought, you know what, why don't we just do this live, and that way everybody has an opportunity to ask a question, and I can answer it in real time and give you the real-time stats as they're happening right now. February numbers were greatly increased over January. So that's something I have to just put in context to make sure that you're aware of that. So in February, we saw a huge jump over January with respect to all the major stats like listings, which is supply, sales, and price. I think in the 416 area, sales went up about 57% month over month from January to February. Yes, exactly. Right now in March, so far, the first 2 weeks of March, we're actually on pace where we were in February. So I don't expect a huge jump in the overall March numbers from February, but there is a slight increase there. I mean, all depends on how the final 2 weeks play out, but so far we're ahead of where we were at this point in time last month. So there should be a slight increase in the overall numbers from February to March. But the interesting stat as well is months of inventory, MOI. For those who don't know months of inventory, it basically tells us how much supply is out there relative to the sales. So in other words, if there were no new listings coming to market, how long would it take for the current supply to sell out? Months of inventory is basically a stat that we use in real estate to determine which direction the market's going, how hot the market is it a balanced market, is a seller's market, is it a buyer's market? And typically in a balanced market, we will see in this area here, probably over 3 months of inventory. So we're looking at maybe 4 or 5 months of inventory would equal a balanced market. Anything over 6 months is a buyer's market, and anything under that is technically a seller's market. During the crazy COVID years where everything was selling like hotcakes, you would list it and we would see houses sell in hours, never mind days or weeks. So we had around 1 month of inventory or less. So in the crazy times, we were getting 2 weeks of inventory or 3 weeks of inventory, which was just insane. Since the interest rate hikes last year, the months of inventory has been going up and up and up, and we hit about 3 months of inventory. That's where we were in January. And I think that was the peak, because in February, the months of inventory went down, which tells me the market is heating up. As I said, the number of listings went up, the number of sales went up, prices went up in February over January. So the months of inventory went down. That means the market was heating up. So just to put it in perspective, if January was around 3 months of inventory, February was 2.25 months of inventory, and March, the first 2 weeks of March so far, are at about 2 months of inventory. So the market is heating up in March relative to February. Now, granted, this is only for the first 2 weeks of March. I don't know how the rest of the month is going to play out, but typically we do see an increase in activity in March over February, so I'm assuming that this will continue, and we will be around that same 2 months of inventory mark. And that's just for the city of Toronto, the 416 area. In Peel region, the February month of inventory was just under 2 at 1.9. So, and that's probably mainly due to Brampton. I think Brampton is ground zero for real estate in this area, because that's where the hub of most of the activity is. It was during the crazy COVID times, and it still is pretty hot in Brampton right now. But even there, we're seeing it heat up more. So if February, Peel region was 1.9 months of inventory. So far, first 2 weeks of March, we're at 1.85 months of inventory. So again, it's slightly heating up. I don't know where it's going to be at the end of the month, but it's probably going to be similar to where it is now. Also keep in mind that real estate is very local and very specific. So the numbers that come out of Brampton, for example, aren't necessarily going to be the same ones that are going to be in Toronto or other places like, say, Richmond Hill or Pickering or anything like that. So you have to be, you have to really dig down into your area, into your community, if you're thinking of buying and selling. From a high level, it's fine, because then you have an idea of where the market is going, in which direction it's going, and whether it's heating up or not. But if you want to use this information to buy or sell a property, then you really have to dig down, contact a local agent and somebody who's going to give you the numbers and show you some recent sales and give you some comparables so that you can get a better idea of what the home is worth that you're selling or buying. So remember, don't use this. My intention here is not to give you a valuation of your home. That is something more detailed. I'm just giving you a high level view right now of what's happening in the market. One question I have been getting a lot lately is the market going up? Is the market going down? Is it a good time to buy? You know, what's going to happen with home prices? Are they going to come down? Are they going to go up? You know, obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I can't, and that's a tired old phrase, we all say that, but it's true because we can't predict what's going to happen going forward. What I can tell you is what's happened up to this point and give you a general, I guess, you know, educated guess as to what's going to happen down the road. We have seen the market come down significantly from a year ago, so last March, to about the midsummer, July, August. Since then, it hasn't been coming down as much as before, so it's kind of plateaued a little bit, flatlined, if you will. In December and January, it went down a little bit more. Now in February over January, the numbers have gone up. So we may have hit the bottom in December and January, and now it's slightly coming up. I'm not saying it's going high. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying it's higher than it was before. And now March is again slightly higher than what it was in February. Will this continue? We don't know. But it could continue because a lot of what happens in the market, it depends on what happens with interest rates. So last year, the reason the market tanked was because, mainly because interest rates went up very rapidly and significantly. I think we gained about 4.5 percentage points. We started at a very low overnight rate of 0.25, and now we're at, I don't even know where we're at, 4.5 now or something like that. Now we're seeing activity pick up again because for the first time in, I think, a year, the interest rates have not gone up on their scheduled announcement dates. So I think that we had 8 consecutive interest rate hikes, and now last week there was an announcement that interest rates are staying flat. Where are they going to go next? Nobody knows. But it's probably a good bet that they're going to continue flat. They're not going down. I can almost guarantee that they're not going to go down. Will they go up again? I don't know. Probably not. With everything that's happening in the US right now, bank failures, this and that, the economy's on shaky ground. And when we have uncertainty in the economy, I don't think the Bank of Canada is all of a sudden say, okay, we're going to increase rates again. I might be wrong. I might be way off in left field. And if anyone on here has a different opinion, by all means, let me know. But I don't think at this point in time, they're going to do that. And this is another reason why I want to go weekly, because things change in our market from week to week as opposed to month to month. So that's why I'm doing this. So back to real estate. I don't think interest rates will continue up. That means buyers are a little more confident, buyers a little feel more secure. So I think they're going to continue to buy. As far as, it's a month-to-month thing. Now in March, April is probably going to be the same thing. What's going to happen in May, who knows by that point in time. Another question I've been getting a lot is, why did you change your handle? So That's a very interesting question as well. So for those that have been following me for a while, you know I used to be at Demos Real Estate. And my website was demosrealestate.ca. All my social media handles were at Demos Real Estate. So now I changed it to at Heart and Sold GTA. So I think it's a more catchy phrase. Heart and Sold GTA, I just found to be a better name. You know, Demos Real Estate to me was just, you know, my name, real estate, okay, who cares, right? So I thought Heart and Sold GTA just sounded better, had a better ring to it, and it represents what I do and who I am. The heart in Heart and Sold, right, means I care. So I care about my clients, I care about my audience, and that's why I do things like this and go live. So that's the first part of it. Heart and Sold, it's a play on words, you know, and those who know me know I love a good pun. So Heart and Sold means I get the job done. So the heart, because I care, and sold, because I mean business. So Heart and Sold, GTA, obviously, because that's the area where I practice. Thank you to all for joining me. I hope you have a great night, great evening, and stay safe out there. All the best. Ciao.